Greetings, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good.
No.
Okay. Greetings, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Fan, how y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? This is Karim from Karim Show and Tell. Welcome to another episode of Karim Show and Tell. This is episode 90, y'all. 90. We call it politics. I know. You know what we talk about? We talk about poetry, politics, ratchetness, relationships, trending topics, and realities of LA. And today's show, we just want to talk about politics. Okay? I'm your host, Karima J. Spear. I'm a poet, writer, director, content creator. I do a lot of stuff, but enough about me. I want to thank my friend, Ryan Gonzalez, for definitely making me a great website, from Psionic Media, making me a great website. So if you get a chance, definitely check out Psionic Media. On today's show, we got Chocolate Chuck. We still waiting for him to come back in. We got Robert Biggs. You know about him. You know about Anthony Gonzalez. You know about him. And we got the lovely ladies. We got Sean Bailey and we got Tiffany Moore. So it's going to get dope up in the house. And the topics we're going to talk about, y'all, it's been on everybody's mind. California governor's recall election, okay? What are your thoughts? That's what we're going to talk about. First topic. Second topic, we're going to talk about Texas abortion law. Is it a fair law? Okay, so I guess we just going to get into it. Waiting for Charles to come back, but we just going to jump right into it. So the California recall election. So let me tell you what it's about. So basically, on September 14th, Governor Gavin Newsom we have to vote, y'all. We have to get serious about this. September the 14th, we're going to have to vote to see if we're going to keep him as the governor or we're going to choose one of the other 45 people that are running to be the governor of California. It's a very special election, and some people say it's a ploy by the Republicans. Some people are just mad at the fact that this man went whining and dining at basically this dining restaurant and got caught. And he was telling everybody else to stay quarantined. And they was like, well, you out dining and whining and dining with people while we got to stay quarantined. So a lot of people are just angry and so forth and so on. So, this call, I think I laid a quick foundation of what's going on. So Anthony, what's your thoughts on this election? Is this serious or should we just like not show up?
It's serious to the fact that like there was enough votes. First they were questioning the petition signatures, and they got basically double the amount.
Yeah.
California is a little fed up. I know me personally, I'm a little fed up. Everyone was all talking like it doesn't matter who's going to be in office after Trump, but we need a change. That was the big lay of the land. Mm-hmm. And California, I don't care who's in office. We need a change. Mm-hmm. Actually, I do care, obviously, but Gavin Newsom needs to go. There is just so much mismanagement of the state, mm-hmm. in my opinion, especially running a small business, mm-hmm. Being told what was essential, being told, what you can do. I have a lot of friends that own restaurant businesses, and then just seeing the way different counties ran their things, such as San Bernardino County, San Diego County, LA County. And the only thing that you could compare LA County to is San Diego County, really, or like San Francisco, and just in terms of population and people. And there were stricter rules here, stricter rules there, then there's lax rules here, lax rules there. I understand that because us living right here in LA County is a lot different than people living in Fresno or something like that. So less population, but it was just a huge mismanagement of the state. I go back to COVID with the ventilators. Yeah. Obviously we didn't know what it was doing at the time, but it was actually killing more people than it was saving because it would overinflate their lungs and they would have lung failure and lung collapse. If you drive by any hospital right here in the Valley, at least, you got 3 hospitals. You got the Facey, you got the Providence, and you got the Holy Cross Providence, and the Providence down there in Panorama. You can see all these ventilators just stacked along the side, mm-hmm. Just for the taking. So just huge mismanagement on the way small businesses are operated, obviously the way state agencies operated. Mm-hmm. And just the lack of oversight. We ran into this issue with 9/11 where there was just a lack of oversight on giving President Bush power to invade Iraq for no damn reason. And basically we gave all of the governors throughout the United States power to basically run their own state like their own country, and the power went to his head. I'm not saying that I know someone who would have done better, but he clearly did not do a good job. The state's still trying to recover, and I do believe we did in that aspect as well.
But I want to also let people know that out there that in order for us to even be at this place of having to vote, they got to have a petition. 1.5 million people signed the petition for him to be recalled. 1.5 million people signed, which is 12% of the vote, right? 12% in order to even be eligible to even put this on the ballot. And also they had 4 extra months because of pandemic, because when it was, they had 1 year to do it, but then because of the pandemic, they had extra 4 months to make sure. But this is something that 12% of the population of California says they want to do. And I'm like,
they actually had over 2 million signatures though too.
Yeah, you need just 1.5.
Yeah, you needed 1.5, but I know they had well over 2 million that were validated because they threw out like 500,000 or something signatures.
Yeah. So how about you, Sean? I mean, what's your thoughts on this election? I mean, do you think it's needed? Let me ask you that question. Do you think this, is needed?
Well, I mean, if that many people did sign to do that, then I mean, it is definitely something that we need to look at and maybe even have a vote on. Me personally, I've already voted by mail-in ballot. So, but I mean, just looking at ex-President Donald Trump and how we couldn't get him impeached for all of the egregious acts that he committed while he was the president of our whole entire country. I don't think necessarily personally that Gavin Newsom has committed anything even anywhere remotely as close as Donald Trump. And I know it's not a competition, but that's just pretty much how I look at it, with the Republicans so eager to get this man out of office. It just seems like it's something else that they want to try to accomplish. I really don't think that they care so much about, the ventilators and, he mismanaged COVID, because a number of them don't even want to wear masks in public. So, I mean, I just think it's just a big waste of money. But again, so many people did vote for it. So it does need to be addressed at least.
Yeah, it's still a huge waste of money, this whole process. It's a lot of trees going down too for all that paper for the mail-in ballots.
Yeah. So how about you, Rob? What's your thoughts on this recall?
I pretty much concur with everybody else. First and foremost, it costs way too much money to even go over. We got so much homelessness going on in California in the first place, but we worried about a governor just because he supposedly went with it. Was it dinner or something during COVID?
At the French Laundry in Napa.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're supposed to be mad at that? Like other people wasn't doing things like that in the first place? But we want to point that out like that's a big deal.
It made them sign a petition even faster because of that.
Well, I'm mad at it because I couldn't get a reservation at the French Laundry, but I went to Napa for my birthday. So I am mad about that.
I understand being mad about it, but to recall and waste all that money for the state when we have so many other needs, I just can't agree with that.
Okay. And how about you, Tiffany? What's your feeling when it comes to this recall thing?
I'm against the recall. I voted no, and I think one of the biggest issues that I have, I'm worried about who's going to come in after him. I'm terribly terrified about it being Larry Elder. I'm a teacher, and so I see what Republicans are doing in education, and I want no part of it. So that's probably my hugest concern, to be honest with you. Of course, I would like someone, there are definitely issues that need to be fixed, but some of the things were there before he came into play. So they've gotten worse, but there's more factors than just him, the reason why things are the way they are. So I don't want to see Elder come in and I've heard the things that he wants to do with education and all the things that he feels. I disagree with it. So, and I feel like he's the one who would probably take his place if he's recalled. So
actually on a radio show, he actually mentioned what he would do. And all disclaimer, I am a libertarian. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, right? They need to do something for my vote. So honestly speaking, like I used to be a Democrat, then I was an independent, then I was Republican. I'm happy with being a libertarian. I think that because a lot of reasons why a reason why a lot of the all the big political people are coming together to support Newsom is because Elder actually said that there's a senator that's in California that wants to retire, right? And once she retires, right, then Elder said, okay, whoever's the governor gets to replace him with a senator. He plans on replacing it with a Republican senator, which will basically it won't be the Senate will be like even Steven, and then it will be even more harder to bring through legislation. So that's like the long-term play of why they want to get a Republican as governor in office.
Right.
The thing is also because I'm a libertarian, yeah, my boy, one of my boys are a libertarian that's on the ballot too. I haven't figured out if I'm going to vote for Newsom or him, but I just the thing is I'm not mad at the job that he did. I like the fact for me that he came on air every day to let me know, hey, this is the situation. While our president was nowhere to be found. He didn't want to talk about it. He was like ducking the reality of things. And that's just me. I don't have a problem with the job that Newsom did. I'm like, because I did vote for him, right? And I was like, okay, you know, the job that you got is a job that most people wouldn't want to have. The fact that you gotta lead us, I guess, through this situation of COVID, which you have no control over. So I mean, I can't mark that. Even we had a Republican governor, I can't mark that against him because he didn't cause COVID. He ain't a supervillain that created it. So you know, I mean that's just my thoughts. We're waiting for Charles to come back in. I don't know what happened to him. He got the party together and then left the party.
So just to go back on it a little bit, I know touched on like, you know, the restaurant and, you know, the homelessness. Newsom's been in office for how long now? 10 years now?
I don't think it's been 10 years.
Isn't it 2 terms?
This is like
I don't know. I'm honestly asking, so I really don't know. But
I don't know. Look it up.
He's been the governor of California for over a term. I'm not saying that someone else could have done a better job, but because no one knows. I mean, no one knows who could have done a better job in whatever position in government, from the bottom all the way to the top. The issue with me is that it's more than just. Sorry, my dog likes to interrupt. It's more than just, you know, the COVID situation. You know, we have just a bad mismanagement of the state, of our funds, you know, as state employees, we're getting pay cuts while being forced to work. Yeah. And, you know, I look at it from the human aspect of it. I'm not looking at it from a Republican or Democratic side. And that's what a lot of people tend to do is you know, like you said, you're worried about the tier, you know, and that's our problem with the country. It's just whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat or, you know, because libertarians obviously just the voice is too quiet. There's not enough of y'all. But like whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, because I know a lot of Republicans that wear a mask and I know a lot of Democrats that don't wear a mask. You know, there's a lot of people that got vaccinated and said, why the fuck did I get vaccinated if I still got to wear a mask? You know, and those were Democrats that were pushing for the vaccine. I know a lot of people that it's just your own personal thing. But my opinion is just based off of like, especially food restaurants. You know, you have a lot of examples of food restaurants having to be closed, you know, from one place to another. And just what was allowed. It's just the oversight. And it all, regardless of whether it was his fault or not, he's at the top. You know, and Trump was impeached. He just wasn't removed from office. Yeah. So it was kind of like, you know, I'm not saying the egregiousness or whatever, but I mean, didn't we recall, when we impeached Clinton for what he did, but we recalled Schwarzenegger for sleeping with his maid?
No, we didn't.
Oh, that happened after.
Oh, it was after? Okay.
It's
After.
Oh no, what was that? But there was another governor here in California that was recalled.
governor, and then
I was younger. So I was like, I kind of remember. Oh, it was the governor that got recalled, which is why Schwarzenegger took
Gray
office.
Davis.
Gray Davis, and that's when the governor took office.
Position. I was like, wow, I should have put my name on the ballot. I'm like, I mean, just think about it.
Gray Davis had the issue with the rolling blackouts.
Yeah.
That was that.
And I mean, can that be attributed to him, or is that just mismanagement of, whoever's running, the power department,
Well, that was a whole big thing with Texas had control of that, and then they were cutting off the switch. So that was a whole other.
So with that though, is like, I still blame the person at the top.
Okay.
Leadership has to start somewhere, and that's where oversight and accountability comes. And if you can't get to all those lower level people, you got to change what's at the top. And so that's my opinion. Is just like, I mean, I'm not saying that if he stays in office that he's not going to do a bad job. He's going to continue doing a bad job, or he's still going to continue to mismanage the state. He may figure out what he's been doing wrong, but there's still that issue of,
the issue of the homelessness. It seems like,
yeah, that's bad.
I mean, okay, if he gets recalled, I'm like, that's an issue. Okay, I can understand, because the thing is, you got to find a solution. Originally, it was a lot of people that were downtown, and now they wanted to develop downtown, so they pushed a lot of the homeless outward into the counties. And I mean, for me, I'm like, okay, and the high taxes, like, people are mad at the fact that I got to pay high taxes, but I still got to look at all this homelessness. And I'm like, it's an expensive place to be that I can't even enjoy. I can't really enjoy myself. So what do y'all think about that? Like, I mean, can he be recalled because of, the homelessness that's rampant all around LA now, or that's just not his fault?
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot of factors. I just left a board meeting. I'm on a homeless task force here, Housing MD.
Okay.
And I'm on their board, and I just left the meeting before I joined here, and we're discussing it. And basically, that's just a group of us who just took it in our own hands. We started a nonprofit, and we collect hygiene kits. We go out, we talk to the people, see what they need, what they want. So it is a huge problem. I live in Culver City, and there's homeless people all around that are living under the freeways. It is a definite problem, but there's so many factors with it also. Some people don't want to be housed. We've had people who we've said, okay, we've got you in housing, you got your voucher. And then they say, oh, I don't want to. I'd rather be homeless and live on the streets. And I'm just like, really? You don't want to live in this brand new place? So it's been mismanaged, of course, because in the last 5 years, it's just a whole lot more people who are living on the streets, unhoused. But I don't know if you can personally attribute it to one person, because it's so many different variables and factors that it's just out of control right now.
Yeah, I don't know if we can even turn it around, because I remember when it was sections that you're like, okay, go down the street, you're going to see homeless people, but this street is cool. But now it's like a checkerboard. It looks like a checkerboard, like, a white spot, black spot, white spot, black spot. And it's like, wow, like I'm like, well, at first I was like, where all these people come from? And I was like, is it because of the job situation and people are, got laid off from their jobs? I don't know, but it seems really
drugs. Some people are on drugs. A lot of people have mental illness. So it's just a lot of factors there.
So
I think we have a huge drug problem, which is why how you were talking about how you got those vouchers for those people. I know LA set up all those like homeless sheltered areas where they, built them out, all those temporary housing and everything like that. I know the one by my uncle's house in North Hollywood is only 40% full. And the reason being is because those people have to have accountability. They have to have drug tests. They have to have different things that, they have to be actively searching for a job. it's just like those people that are continuing to collect that unemployment. I know people that just continue to collect it because they get that extra money and they don't have to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that extra money is about to stop. You know, that can attribute to
about $300 of that money.
Yeah.
About to stop.
Yeah, it's about to stop. But the thing is that people are still getting it. And I understand for certain people, like, you know, education teachers just went back. So I understand with people that, you know, have kids and that need to be there to help set up their kids so that they can learn and go to school and all that. There's certain situations that would dictate. But for like people I know that I call out, like, I'm like, dude, just get a job. Why? I'm going to be making the same amount of money. You know, that's a response. Homelessness.
How about you, Tiffany? Like, I mean, do you think he need to be recalled for what can we do about the homeless problem? I mean, is it his fault or should he, you know, how can we fix that problem?
I don't think that it's his fault per se. I mean, you know, mental illness, I think, is a huge part of it. Systemic racism. There's so many different factors that play into why people are homeless. So I think it starts in schools, obviously, to, you know, we need certain support so that people don't grow up and end up in jail, on the streets, on drugs and things like that. There's so many systems that need to be changed. I just cannot attribute just to the governor. I think there's a lot of things that need to be done, and people are not willing to do to really take care of all the different systems that go into play. I mean, look at who's mostly homeless. You know, it's a certain population pretty much. We're seeing more of everybody, but it definitely, you know, Skid Row was predominantly Black, and everyone was okay when it was not, you know, near their house.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. So now
a lot of thing with the homeless too is that a buddy of mine, he's a fireman, he talks to some of these guys, and just like you go out and talk to them, you know, and see their stories, their background. And you can't attribute the homelessness to, I can't even attribute it to anyone in the state of California, because I know people that like Oklahoma, Arizona, Texas, Nevada, Colorado, they'll give them, if they go to their city council office, a one-way bus ticket to California. You know what I mean? So they come over here because they know we are the most empathetic to homeless.
Yeah.
And some people's situation are real, but when it comes to drugs, and when it comes to drugs, obviously, I think prescription drugs are probably the worst, but just because that attributes more towards your mental state, in my opinion. Like, you know, obviously cocaine and everything will jack you up for a certain time, and after a while it'll start to affect you. But yeah, just people that usually get on pills, and that's where it affects your mental state right away.
Yeah.
How about you, Robert? How about you? This homeless problem, because the thing is, you're in the real estate. I know that. I don't know how much that is affecting your occupation. I mean, is it really hurting you, or is it like, you know?
It's hurting because those people aren't buying homes.
Yeah.
but in all honesty, in regards to selling property, it's sometimes a hard sell when you have this condo that's Beverly Hills adjacent and it's listed for $1 million, but you see the homeless guy that's right over in the, you know, the middle island, you know, just set up with a whole fort-like situation. So it's a different situation. If you don't have a client that's like my last client when I took one, she is working for a company that helps with homelessness and all that stuff. So they're trying to address it. She's knee deep into it. So she understands the philosophy behind it. So she would be okay with purchasing that. But someone else or somebody that's out of state coming in for something like that, oh, I'm not buying $1 million and I'm going to look at a homeless guy across the street. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, none of us will, right? I mean, realistically, like if you make that money to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to get my $1 million home, none of us want to see that as well. You know, it's an unfortunate situation, but, you know, you're trying to get away from certain things, right?
Yeah, that's what
you know what I mean? Like that's what people are trying to do. So it's understandable.
Yeah. You're trying to get away from it, but no matter where you are, no matter what zip code, you're going to see somebody that's homeless somewhere. Now there's certain pockets that won't tolerate it. Like for instance, I've been out in Santa Clarita, and you're hard pressed to find homeless people, congregated anywhere.
Really?
I saw one guy just walking down the street, and police was right there on it. So it's certain situations like they won't take it out there. I don't know what they're doing, but they're making sure that they're pushing people out of at least Santa Clarita.
Okay.
You rarely see
Give
it.
them a bus ticket to Venice.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved here, Venice wasn't, it was like some characters, and the homeless was spotty. It wasn't like in your face, right on Main Street, like Main and Main. I remember going down there, and there was some stores, and I go, okay, let me go to the store, and then you see maybe like one homeless guy, but he's carting along, going in a direction. These people are like encamped, like they got
tents.
Yeah. But let me tell you some funny shit. This is some funny shit. Like, okay, I got a tent, right, for one of my birthdays, right? It's like a little like beach tent, right? Because the thing is, I hate moving the damn umbrella and stuff like that, right? And so it's so many homeless people now that when I take my little tent, which is only good for two people, it's like for two people. So I bring my writing and everything, because sometimes I want to crash, take a nap, and then wake up and write, right? It's so bad with the tents that when I go to the beach, last time I went to the beach, I got the cops every 15 minutes coming by to check on to see if I'm trying to live on the sandy beach. I was like, no, man, I'm a writer. I want to write my little tent, and just, get the breeze and stuff like that, right? And I'm just like, it's a damn shame that you can't even buy a little tent, right, just to enjoy the beach. And they think instantly, homeless encampment growing right here. And so it's funny, because I'm like, I bought it for my pleasure, but now it looks like it's a stigmata on having a tent. Like, so you can't even go, it's funny to me. But where is Charles? He's supposed to be here.
He joined and then he dropped back off again.
I told him use your phone. I mean, hopefully
It's all good.
because I wanted to get his opinion, but we if you don't come on, we gonna have to move on.
Yeah.
So
No, there's a lot of problems here though. Like San Diego, when I first got there, had a huge homeless problem. Like huge. Right when you get to like National City, which is basically their equivalent of like what was our Inglewood or whatever. Like that's how they look at it. And right when you get off the freeway for like a good mile and a half, and I don't know, I mean, those people probably got bus tickets here to LA, but like I was just down in San Diego 2 weeks ago, and even when I was like leaving San Diego, it started cleaning up, but it's pretty damn clean over there, like as far as like the homelessness.
yeah,
and that is the question, and maybe our major cities, if we're not looking at the top down, Mayor Garcetti was all proud of his mayor coalition force, why doesn't he get with other mayors of other cities like San Diego, like Fresno, or I don't know the homeless situation in Fresno, but I'm just saying like San Francisco has a really bad homeless problem. You can't even go to Union Square and take a photo without catching 10 homeless people in that picture. Yeah, it's bad. Like people are legit defecating on the street. And that's where a lot of it comes to, and it's sad, but maybe these mayors should all get together and have another little coalition and say, hey, how'd you guys fix your homeless problem?
Yeah.
And I get that. And maybe they should. It definitely is an environmental issue, because there is a lot of disease and things like that that can happen in those encampments. I just was at a meeting last week with the Mayor Garcetti and Mark Ridley Thomas, Holly Mitchell. All of them were at this homeless task force, and they are is definitely on their agendas. Now, as far as him meeting with other mayors, maybe that might work to see what they're doing in their cities. But LA is a different animal. It's a different animal.
Also,
like
we have the best weather.
Coming here,
Right.
but one-way bus ticket. I mean, it's the weather. A lot of it's the weather. If I'm going to be homeless, I'm damn sure going to be homeless in LA than I am going to be in Chicago.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people come here, and I understand that in the aspect of like it's the easiest place to be a homeless person. Hardly any rain. You're not going to get wet. You know, weather's semi decent. You know, it's not too many issues that you can run into. Plus,
weeds legal, all of that.
Weeds legal, yeah. And plus, honestly, like we have so many people like you that you know are trying to do something good for and help these people get out of that situation. You know what I mean? We're so here in LA, we're so empathetic to everyone else, which is kind of what makes us and separates us. Even with our empathy, though, you know, there's a certain amount of people that are just take advantage of it, and just like in any aspect of life, obviously.
Yeah, I get that, because I also own homes for people who have developmental disabilities. And so I provide the homes where where people live, and I have the staff and all of that. And like you said, they send them one-way bus tickets. A lot of people who have children who are developmentally disabled, they send them to California because they say that California has the best program, the best resources. We have the regional center system here. We have the Lanterman Act, the Frank D. Lanterman Act. So other states don't have that. So yeah, they do send them here because they get more benefits here. So it is a drain on our system, but at the same time, I mean,
who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it? Like I don't know if you guys know this, but I have my master's in special education. I have my undergrad in history and I have my master's in special education. I graduated in 2017 towards the end of the school year. It was one of those things where I graduated in 17, but didn't walk till 18. But those resources for kids with SPED, you know, they're just so far out there that it brings more people. And that's what's beautiful about this state. And you know, there's so many different programs, but then you got all those people, and that's where I believe management comes into play, because there's so many people that just take advantage of every aspect of the system.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely has to be
managed. We need, even when it comes to government oversight as far as state goes, we need micromanaging, because you know as a teacher, Tiffany, like, because basically a lot of my family is in education. My girl's a resource teacher, and it's just there's not the amount of resources and the proper funds being allocated to the education aspect of our institution. California's education, you know, and like you say, you don't want Larry Elders in because of, you know, what he wants to do with education, but right now, teachers aren't getting paid enough. Right now, their schools aren't getting the proper PPE for the kids. Right now, you know, up until last year, you know, half these kids weren't even able to go to school in certain areas, certain districts, because they didn't have the resources to do a Zoom. They didn't have laptops. You know, they didn't have anything like that. So, you know, where I believe our technology is gone, and how is it that our, you know, superintendent gets paid 6 figures type deal? You know, it's kind of like, you know, pass that money down. That money down.
Charles, we back? We all the way live?
Let's hope so, man.
Okay. So
Charles is here.
How you doing, Will? What's going on? Will, can you? Will?
Is Will on? Will, you?
He disappeared when Charles came on.
Well, I see Will right now.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing Will. Will, can you talk? Will, can you?
Will, it's English.
Okay, let's keep going. So, Charles, so how about you? What's your thoughts on the California governor's recall election?
It's a power grab, man. And the fact that Larry Elder's the front runner is letting you know this is all bullshit to begin with. And it's real sad that we could be looking at the first black governor of California, but he ain't gonna be the right one. That's where we're at with this cat. I don't know the dude that wants to run around with a bear in his damn ass, Cox. I don't think he has a legitimate shot. Faulkner might be the only cat that, if it all goes to hell, I would probably be cool with.
Who? Caitlyn Jenner?
No, Caitlyn has
Oh, my bad.
she got no shot either. She just, it's all ego. Well, most of it's ego when you run for public office, but Caitlyn's running on bullshit. She's not even coming up with any damn plans. But she's just showing up at events and be like, "Oh, hey, I can do this and say this." And I was with the Kardashians.
It's a celebrity thing because that's how Schwarzenegger became governor. Like I thought about it today. I was like, I work for the Department of Motor Vehicles, right? And I see Newsom's picture up there, and I was like, you know what? I should have ran because if I wanted to have to put my face in every DMV and all of the departments, I was like, I should have just did it just because of that. That's why Caitlyn's running. He want his face in every facility. That's the reason he running. That's my theory. He don't know nothing about the issues. He don't know nothing about homelessness.
Nothing.
Nothing. Did you know that
the only cat I'd be cool with if it happened would be Faulkner, cat from San Diego.
Yeah, Kevin Faulkner.
Well, there's two. So Cox was a mayor of San Diego too.
Yeah.
Cox was a mayor of San Diego back in 2000.
Yeah, Cox the one that run around with the damn bear.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there's two mayors of San Diego, and Faulkner is a mayor right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Cox was a mayor when I was there, and then Faulkner took over.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So how about the other Democrats? Got Patrick Kilpatrick, and then you got Kevin Paffra. I guess I said his name wrong.
Bruh, not gonna make it. Not gonna happen.
How about my boy from the Libertarians? How about Jeff Hewitt? No love.
What's his background?
He has a perfect name, Jeff Hewitt. Who?
It's the perfect name for governor. No love.
Angeline to get elected before his ass.
How about the Green Party? You got Heather Collins and Dan Kalpovitz. Nope, no love.
Bro, there's like 50 names on that damn thing.
It's 46. Yeah. I counted. It's 46. It's 46 people. How about you, Tiffany? Did that make it hard that it's 46 people running to be the governor? Was that hard choice, or was it like, I'm just going to pick the guy on the top? What?
No, it wasn't hard because I know I was doing no on the recall, but so wasn't really a challenge for me.
Okay.
I have a kind of a side question maybe that everyone can answer. Mm-hmm. Does California need to be split up into 2 states?
No.
No? Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't catch it because you kind of okay. I'm just kind of curious. I don't think so either, but I've heard that argument a lot. And
that was like that mess when the Valley wanted to split up and be their own thing. No.
Wow.
Yeah. No. It's like my own wonderful city of the city of San Fernando is absolutely ridiculous. We can't even afford our own fire department. We have to lease LAFD's fire department because the city of San Fernando can't afford it.
Wow. I don't know enough about it to say yay or nay. Mm-hmm. I know it was on the ballot a few years ago. Yeah. It got defeated, but I don't know, man. I got to look at some more specs on that to see how that would work for each state. I would say if that's the case. So I don't know.
Well, we would need to keep it even, so Puerto Rico would be the next state.
Well, no, I'm talking about they split up the 2.
I know. So if they split up the 2, though, that makes it 51. So you got to have 52 to make it even.
I don't know about that.
Hey, but I need y'all support on the next recall, right? Whoever get recalled, I'm gonna write my name in, okay? So, I'm trying to be y'all mayor. Mayor and governor, whatever. But definitely I'm gonna put my name on it, okay?
You'll get 1 vote.
What?
And that's your own writing.
Hey, Caitlyn Jenner gonna run. I feel like, and Kanye West gonna run for president. I feel it's my right to run for governor. What y'all think?
Well, don't do anything Kanye does.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that bracket.
So,
we definitely talking about.
Robert, you sleep? Are you awake? What's going on?